Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Nicole Hernandez. It is 6 o'clock on your Friday now, and we're going to get over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick because, Thomas, we had a little bit of a break yesterday from the rain, but it looks like it's right back today already.
Yeah, it looks like it is back. In fact, I do want to point out that as of right now, literally in just a couple seconds ago, the airport observation started saying that they are getting rainfall now as of the 6 a.m. hour. So I'm going to jump right over to Doppler radar. I'd like to zoom on into Spokane County, and there you see it just in the last couple minutes here. Everything just starting to appear in terms of that rainfall directly over the city. Looks like it's going to be light to start, maybe just a few sprinkles at the moment, but give it some time. The next wave, which is just off to our west here, that wave is actually advancing eastward as well. So the rain's going to pick up for the remainder of the morning hours here as we just kick off another stretch of some decently wet weather that carries through the weekend.
And taking a look at I-90 and Freya this morning, it's 6:01 here this morning and not many cars on the road quite yet. This is pretty normal this time of morning though. We're not seeing as many people getting up and out quite yet, but if that changes and we start to see any traffic backups or anything like that, we'll of course let you know here on Up with KREM. Well, breaking overnight, a car crashed into the front doors of River Park Square in downtown Spokane. At least one person ended up hurt in this. This happened at about 9 o'clock last night. Spokane police say the driver first hit a parked car, then crashed into the mall. The driver was hurt and another person went to the hospital. The main entrance to the mall was closed last night because of this crash, but it is back open today. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson signed House Bill 1258 into law. It will pave the way for Spokane to develop its own 911 system. The bill makes it so emergency dispatch funding is based on call volume versus population. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy has more.
We are simply saying that the revenue needs to follow the jurisdiction that's providing the service.
That's Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown back in January, advocating for fair funds for emergency services among the city of Spokane, the county, and Spokane Regional Emergency Communications, or SHREC, through House Bill 1258. The bill writes funds be based on on-call volume versus population. SHREC Board Chair and Spokane County Fire District 3 Fire Chief Cody Rohrbach says that wasn't always the case.
The methodology really had funds coming from the county going back into the city, so that was really the point of contention.
Both he and Mayor Brown support the bill becoming law. Rohrbach says it creates two important new distinctions in emergency funding.
Make it one, equitable for county and city, and two, allow that to occur at the local level.
Now it's up to the city, county, and SHREC to discuss how funding will look.
It brings the decision for apportionment back to the local level. And essentially what it says is, hey, both parties need to come together and make an agreement on equitable apportionment.
So what does this mean? Either the city's fire department continues working with SHREC for a regional center, or they leave SHREC and separate funds based on city and county needs. Spokane Fire has worked with the office since 2022. No matter the outcome, Rohrbach says the situation won't impact emergency response, whether from the city or Spokane County.
All agencies are vested in, delivering top quality, top tier 911 emergency services to the community. So I think in either event, it works out, but more to come as far as the actual outcome.
That was Connor McAvoy reporting there. After Governor Ferguson signed the bill, Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall sent out a statement. He says the bill will make sure Spokane gets the funding it needs to have fast and reliable 911 responses. He said this is a crucial investment. Spokane Fire Chief Julie Oberg also said she is grateful for the bill. She says, quote, "The bill brings greater equity to how emergency communication services are funded." If you would like to read the full bill, we have that on our website, krem.com. New this morning, the Boundary County Sheriff's Office is now blocking calls from anonymous numbers on their non-emergency line. They say they've had more people calling to harass dispatchers and law enforcement. Our partners at the Bonner County Daily Bee say a lot of these calls are coming from outside the county and even out of state. So now they're asking callers to use identifiable numbers when calling the Sheriff's Office non-urgent matters. For emergency, you do still need to call 911.
At 6:05, the rain is starting to pick up over Spokane County. Just took a peek outside myself, and the ground almost completely wet, so it is a light rain to get us started for today, but it is just getting started here in the last couple minutes. We have a cold front that's going to be passing through the state from west to east here, and that is now producing a bit of light rain across most of eastern Washington, and that will likely continue for the remainder of the morning hours. Really, the most rain that we see today occurs between now and noon, with just a chance for scattered showers during the afternoon hours today, with more activity expected this weekend.
We are now hearing from Washington Attorney General Nick Brown after a hearing before the Supreme Court. He is part of a group fighting against President Trump's birthright citizenship executive order. Washington State sued the Trump administration back in January to keep the order from going into effect.
And we could see how the justices began to dissect the absurdity of the United States position, that you would cross the border of my state in Washington and move to Idaho and you would lose your citizenship, that you would move from any one state that has participated in litigation and lose your rights and privileges that come with being an American citizen. It's an absurd argument.
So we are not expecting to have an actual ruling on this case until late June or early July. President Trump is wrapping up his trip to the Middle East. This morning's roundtable focused on business. Over the past 4 days, the president promoted several economic agreements, some that had already been announced. He leaves the UAE now with signed commitments for more than $1 trillion worth of investments in energy and technology.
You're an amazing country, you're a rich country, you can have your choice, but I know you'll never leave my side.
He also announced plans to normalize relations with Syria, and he worked on closing Iran's nuclear program.